The Ring of Honor Women's World Title Tournament begins the weekend of July 31st on Ring of Honor TV and Ring of Honor viewing platforms. This outstanding tournament features 15 outstanding wrestlers, including Miranda Alize. Thank you so much, Miranda. Tell us about the big tournament.
Oh, you tell me, aren't you so excited? It's
Yes,
going to be so amazing. I can't wait for you guys to see everything. I had so much fun. I'm just laying down the days. I'm like, okay, 7 more days, 7 more days, 7 more days. Well, 8 more days, I think. Right? Yeah, I'm really excited for it all. I can't wait to see. It's such a good time.
And Miranda, this is unique for Ring of Honor because it really is putting the emphasis on women's wrestling. So what is it like to be a part of that as well, not only crowning a Ring of Honor Women's Champion?
Like I said, I had a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. I really, really am glad that Maria's there. I haven't known her for long, but I love working with her, and I love everything that she's doing for everybody. She just wants everyone to exceed, and she wants everyone to be their best. And I'm really happy with everything that they're doing and the way that they're putting it together and all the effort they're putting into this to make women's wrestling a thing and a big deal, because it is a big deal. And I can't wait for you guys to see it. I'm really happy to be a part of it.
Tell us about your first round opponent, Alex Gracia. Yeah. Tell us about Alex.
I'm very familiar with her outside of wrestling. She's one of my closest friends. I've trained with her a few times. I've had a few matches with her, not many, only 2, but outside of wrestling, she's one of my best friends. I'm really glad that she's there because she works really hard. She's really talented. So I was really, really happy for her. But it is what it is. I have to face her and I have to beat her. She's still my friend when everything's done.
When you're in a tournament format like that, do you look a little bit ahead? Because then the winner of that gets Maserati and Nicole Savoy.
The winner of that gets either or?
Yes, at least that's the way the bracket looks.
Okay. I was confused. Yeah, so winner, me. I will be the winner. I have to win the match, right? Nicole Savoy or Maserati. Maserati is, I think she's pretty new into the business, so I'm not real worried about that, not too intimidated about that. I've worked with her before. She's a sweet chick. She's a loudmouth, likes to talk a lot. Nicole Savoy, I'm very familiar with her also. She was my roommate in Japan for 2 months. So I've never had a match with her, but I have got to tag with her in Stardom when we were in Japan. All of our matches were mainly tag matches, and she was my partner the whole time. So very familiar with her. Also, I like her style. It's not what I would do, but I mean, I can work my way around it. I have my tricks.
What was it like in Stardom in Japan?
It was freezing. I went in January and February, and I'm from Texas, and it was the coldest time of my entire life. It doesn't snow in Texas. So when I saw snow down, I was walking through actual snow. I was like, what is this? But I had so much fun. It was just very, very different. Like I miss their corner store so much because their 7-Elevens, you could get like an actual meal from there. Like you can get a bowl of noodles and chicken from there. You can buy like all your groceries from there. They have these crazy vending machines, like right out of the Stardom apartment. You walk down, and in the front, and there's vending machines everywhere in Japan, but like their vending machines have alcohol in them. You could just buy alcohol from a vending machine. It's insane. I had so much fun. I had a lot of fun there. I really miss it.
Do you miss the vending machines?
I miss the vending machines, and I miss the 7-Elevens. I do not miss having to take a train everywhere. I did not like that.
So subways in New York City wouldn't be your thing?
No. Well, subways, I think, so we would leave the house, walk to the train, which took about 20 minutes, get on the train, get on another train, then walk another 20 minutes. So like a 30-minute trip to the dojo in your car turns into like an hour and a half. And I'm not about that every single day.
And did you have any snowball fights, make any snow angels or snowmen in the snow?
We did have snowball fights, and I fell and slipped right on my butt. We had snowball fights after a night out, I think. And then, yeah, I think I still have videos from that, actually. It was really funny.
Miranda, was there anyone in particular that you were glad to have on your team, or was it everyone a free-for-all?
I was with a really, really good group of girls. I was with Nicole Savoy, Rachel Ellering, Viper, Kaylee Ray, Zaya Brookside, and then later on, like when a few girls left, Tony Storm came. But it was just such a good group. Everybody is so cool. Like it was the best group. You could not have a better group. I got along great with everybody. And I got so close with like Rachel and Zaya and Cole. Like I made great friends down there, but it was such a great group.
And speaking of Rachel, she is a snow girl. So I'm sure she did very well in those snowball fights.
I don't think she was there for the snowball fight because I think she had already left.
Oh.
She was there for 1 month, and then I think it was after she left that's when the snowball stuff happened.
Hey Miranda, who else can you tell us in this tournament? Because there are 15 outstanding wrestlers in this Ring of Honor women's title tournament. I mentioned a couple of the names, but it really is a star-studded lineup.
You mean like who else? Looking
yeah, who else to watch
with?
for? Who else to watch for in the tournament?
I think 2 other people to watch for. One would be Max, obviously, monster, can run through anybody. But I think another one that like a lot of people aren't talking about is Sumi. She's been around for a while. She has that Japanese strong style. I think those are. If I had to look out for any 2 people, I think those are 2 people that I would have to look out for and keep my eye on as a competitor.
What is a Lucha baddie?
Me. I'm a badass. I come out to the ring with Jordans, a gold chain, a snapback, a mask. My shorts, my pants are baggy. I wear a bandana. I'm a street girl. And my style is Lucha. So I just call myself the Lucha baddie.
Miranda, did you come up with that, or did you have help coming up with something like that?
Actually, I didn't come up with that. So when I was on the West Coast, well, when I was living in Mexico, I was doing a lot of wrestling on the West Coast, and somebody that I was working for wanted me to shoot a promo, and I was like, okay, I was like, based off of what? Like what is the story that I'm trying to tell in the promo? Yada yada yada. And I was going to be tagging with these guys, or going against these guys, and it's 2 guys, and they call themselves the Lucha Daddies. So he was like, well, he was like, go off of this. And he was like, but maybe you can end it and be like, with the Lucha baddie. And I was like, okay. So I did the promo, and that was just the promo. And then like later on, I was like, wait, I think that really, really works. And then he was like, yeah, it does. He's like, it just fits you. So then I just stuck with it. So yeah, I didn't come up with it. Somebody gave it to me.
It's amazing though how some of these things come up and what works when you're thinking about these things and all. But from what you're telling me, it is an extension of who you are.
Pretty much, yeah. It's exactly who I am.
And those are always usually what works best.
Exactly. It just comes naturally.
How did you get this opportunity to be in the Ring of Honor tournament?
I think it goes back to all the way last year because I was already booked for the tournament last year, and then the COVID stuff happened, and then I think everything got like, so I think it's just like me re-getting my opportunity and coming back. I obviously like reached out to Maria and whoever I needed to reach out about, and then after I reached out, they were like, yep, let's get you in. But yeah, I was previously booked, and I was supposed to do it in April of last year before everything got all out of control.
When everything did get out of control and shut down, how disappointing was that for you and everyone else? But you could speak for you, obviously.
Well, oh my God. Well, it was like in April that everything shut down. So like April, I was supposed to go to the UK for 20 days. I had a 20-day tour, and I had like 12 bookings and 12 matches down there. So I was going to be there from the 1st till the 20th. And then I was going to fly back to TJ, and I was going to debut for AAA TV in Tijuana, and then the next in Mexicali. And then after that, I was going to fly out to do the tournament. So like I had my UK tour, my Ring of Honor, and my AAA TV stuff just scrapped for me like that. So at the time I was like, much. Like, it was just like, that was like my biggest month out of the whole year. So it was just like, but like now, like, I mean, everything happens for a reason. Like, I think as much as like people, as much as like it took away from people's stuff, I think it also gave us more back. Everything happens for a reason.
And obviously, look at what you've been able to do now. So yes, there was a pause, but now it's continue on. And I'm very curious how you got your start in pro wrestling and what drew you to pro wrestling.
Well, I always watched wrestling since I was like younger. I think everybody has like a wrestling phase. Like, that's a thing when you're a kid, you watch wrestling. But I always watched it. I was a huge fan. My cousin was super into it, so we all would always have it on at my grandma's house. So I would watch it with my cousin. And then like I stopped watching it for a while, and then when I was like 17 or 18, I started to watch, and I was like, I kind of want to try this. So I went to I just looked up a school when I turned 18 in Houston, and I went to the school, and I went for like one day, and like, not to break kayfabe, but I was kind of disappointed because I knew that like it was not 100% real. I just didn't know how. So I went to like a school, and I was like, this sucks. And then I was like, I'm not going back. And then somebody called me, and they were like, hey, are you going to come back? And I was like, okay, I'll go back. And that's how it happened.
Sometimes you don't want to know how the sauce is made.
I don't know. I just thought, like, I didn't know what to expect going into it, pretty much.
Were you athletic in school growing up?
The only thing that I did in school, and this was way back in middle school, was basketball. And then I did boxing for a while, but I wasn't able to do that for a long time because I had always had some shoulder issues and ended up needing like a shoulder surgery. But those are the only two sports that I played. In high school, I didn't play much. I was not athletic whenever I first became a wrestler.
How long did it take you to adapt to the wrestling style and learn things?
I think it took me like at least like 3 months to start like barely like getting my basics like good, like being able to do a leapfrog without like I could not jump or leave my feet at first. But I think like after 3 months, like I was like, okay, like here we go. After 3 months, things started getting better.
Well, Miranda, what kept you going during that time? Because even the first time you went in, you were like, oh, I don't know. And then you went back, but you still kept at it.
I just honestly, like, I just fell in love with it. I loved wrestling so much. And especially at that time when I was like 17 or 18, I was like getting back into it, and I just loved it so much. I would watch a bunch of wrestling all day, all night. I just enjoyed it, honestly. And then I had like really good coaches and really good mentors there that were helping me out. And it was just like, it's an escape from reality. Being in the ring is an escape from reality. I was in school full time, so it's an escape from that, an escape from your job. It was just something that I enjoyed, honestly.
That leads me to college. Did you go to college? Did you end up getting a degree?
So I went to college when I was 18. As soon as I turned 18, I just did not know what I wanted to go for. So I just took some basics or whatnot. And then later on, as I started working in a gym and becoming a trainer, I ended up going for kinesiology. So I have that. And then also right now, I'm not in it's not college, but it's kind of like college. I'm in full-time school for my massage therapy license. So I'll be getting that like at the end of this year. So
that's awesome, Miranda. And is that something too, not only you, but family was encouraging you to do that?
Not really. They're not really like, it's kind of like, because I've been a trainer and I've been working in a gym and doing fitness stuff since I was like 20. So it kind of just goes hand to hand and stuff, because I specialize in working with a lot of people who have chronic pain or have injuries or just a lot of chronic pain. I do a lot of functional work and a lot of corrective exercise. So the massage therapy kind of just goes hand in hand with that. I work at a physical therapy clinic. So we already do a lot of that stuff, but for the sake of like, if I ever move or if I ever, because right now, like I work under somebody, but if I ever like go to another state or anywhere like that, and then like, obviously nobody can wrestle forever, but when I'm done with wrestling, I always have that back on.
When your peers learn of this, are they instantly asking you for help? Because it's such a grueling physical combat sport, pro wrestling.
I think most of like the people in wrestling who know me know what I've been doing for like a few years, because I've been doing this for a few years. But yeah, like I'm always like helping like a lot of the wrestlers. I'm helping a lot of the bodybuilders. And like a lot of wrestlers reach out to me because they just do they go to the gym and they do bodybuilding, and that's great, but they're always in pain. So they reach out to me as far as like wanting to train like an athlete or whatnot. But yeah, I think everybody like who knows me, like I get a lot of people who come to me. Let's put it like that.
And who were some of your favorites? Because you mentioned you were a fan and liked it and all. Who did you connect with when you were younger?
Well, when I was younger, it was like the John Cena era. So I was a big fan of John Cena. That was probably my favorite wrestler when I was younger. I was always a fan of like the Trish and Lita stuff, Jericho, Christian. As of now, I don't watch too much wrestling, but I do watch wrestling. I'm a big Toni Storm person. She's probably my favorite female wrestler. I love watching Will Ospreay. There's a few others, but yeah, those are like my favorite. Santos Escobar, he's one of my favorites. He's my favorite wrestler right now.
What would it be like for you to get in the ring with Toni Storm?
I've been in the ring with her before. Yeah, but I'd love to do it again. Wrestled her in Japan. I would love to do it again.
It's such an interesting journey because pro wrestling can take you to so many places. And you mentioned Japan, but you've been all over the place too. Did you even know back then? I mean, you were just starting, so you didn't know everything. Did you even know that, okay, I can get in this business, I could do well, I could be traveling all over the world?
I didn't know anything. I like my first show, they made me like go set up a ring one time, and it was an indie show, and I was like, what is this? I was like 18, so I didn't know any better. I didn't know anything. I was like, what is this? I was like, I never want to do this ever in my life. I was like, I just want to try out. I wanted everybody to try out, and that's it. So I didn't work the indies for the longest because I just didn't care to, but I didn't know any better. But now, like, I love the indies. I've freaking worked everywhere. But back then I was like, it's just so different as to like how like, no, I didn't expect anything. I didn't know I was going to be traveling. You know, I was going to be all over. Didn't know, never thought I would move to Mexico, but it's been a wild ride.
It's been a great ride, and it's wow, and it's still, this ride can go on for a long time. You keep yourself healthy as best you can and just keep connecting with the fans. I'm curious as far as your training goes, because you did mention your training. Who were some of the people that have helped you training-wise? I read, I hope I have this right, and correct me, please, Booker T's Reality of Wrestling, and then also Tessa Blanchard and Daga.
Yeah, I started off at like a smaller school in Houston my first year. It was Tugboat Taylor School. So it was him and then his son and then like a few other guys who would help me there. They taught me a lot of my basics. I was there for about a year, but they taught me some really, really good stuff. And it was very, very old school. And then once I was like done with that, I went to Booker's. I was there for about 3 years. And he has some guys, their names are Eric and Andrew. They used to live down here. They used to be like head trainers there. They're in Florida now. They've done like some extra work for WWE, but they're super athletic guys. They helped me with a lot of my stuff. So I was with like different people at Booker T School for a few years. And then down in Mexico, I was training with Daga and Tessa and all of the other luchadors. And now they're in San Antonio, so sometimes we link up together and we'll train together. And now I kind of just, there's a school down here in Houston, not an actual school, but like I have some friends because I've met so many people in wrestling. I have some friends who just rent out like a small garage and there's a ring in there. So anytime I'm there, they like let me run classes there. So I'm kind of like teaching classes now.
That is awesome. And you also, Miranda, if you listen to that, listening to what you're saying, so many different styles of wrestling that you've been able to work with. Talk a little bit about that and being able to put that in your repertoire and make you stand out more.
Yeah, I think what makes me stand out the most is, well, first off, like not about like the in-ring stuff, but like the way I look is very, very different. I don't think there's any girl in wrestling that actually wears like joggers until until I saw like a picture of Nicole Savoy. She's wearing joggers now, but I
She
started it.
probably got
It's
that
okay.
from you. She got that from you, though.
But it's okay. So I think I stand out alone with like my look and my mask. But I've learned so much from everywhere, and it's just like you can just combine all of it together. And most people do. There's like a lot of people who specialize in submissions, kind of like Nicole Savoy. She specializes in submissions. That's her thing. My style is very different. Not a lot of girls do lucha. So I think that is what sets me apart. Like I'm fast. Boom, 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 boom. That's my stuff. But I can also do all the grappling stuff. I can do the suplexes. If I need to do like the strong style stuff, I would. I'm normally the smaller girl, but yeah, I can play it depending on who my opponent is. I'll just, if I need to pull something out, I can pull something out, no problem.
What was it like learning with Tessa? Have you ever wrestled Tessa, or at least just get in the ring with her and work out?
I've wrestled her so many times. I think I've wrestled her like 7 or 8 times. She's awesome, obviously. We've worked out together. We get in the ring together. She's very, very knowledgeable, but she's also extremely passionate about everything. She definitely pushes me past my limits whenever we work with each other. I'm hoping to work with her soon, one day again. But she's amazing. She's amazing and so knowledgeable and passionate.
Is red your favorite color?
Yeah, it's my favorite color.
How did I know?
My colors are like red, black, and gray. Those are like, those are my colors.
Are you a sneakerhead?
I am a sneakerhead. I go out and like grab every single pair because that gets really expensive. But I used to do that when I was in middle school. I had every pair of Jordan think of. There was a release every single Friday. I was there. I stayed in line at the malls to get them, all of it. Now it's kind of like I'll go to the mall like every here and there. If I see a pair of shoes I'm going to get it. But yeah, I have a lot of shoes. I have too many actually. I need to sell some. Some just sit there.
But you know, if you sell them, you're probably going to use the money to buy more, to buy the newer ones maybe or something. I don't know.
I don't know. I'd rather buy like new gear or something. I have a lot of Jordans that just sit there. Like,
do you have a favorite pair? Is there one in particular though that you look at and just say, "Oh, that's my favorite"?
Yeah, well, the Jordan ones, those are the ones that I wear to wrestle in.
That is so cool. And do you have the new Lucha Libre Nike Air Max 90s?
I don't have them. I only saw them on Twitter and I was like, oh my God, but I didn't go out of my way to buy them.
Hey, tell us about the cool red ring gear. You have other ring gear too, but I saw that. And who designs it? Who makes it? Who creates it?
Oh, well, for the most part, I try to keep my colors red. That's just my color. There's not like a certain reason. It kind of just goes with me. That's my favorite color. I feel like I look great in it. So I always try to keep my gear red, black, and silver. Also, I have like a really, really expensive jacket that I paid a lot of money for that's red, black, and silver. So that's why a lot of my gear is red, black, and silver because I paid a lot for that jacket and I can just wear that with anything. I have a gear guy down in Houston that I've been going to since I was 18, since I first started. He kind of knows like what I want because he's been working with me forever for the most part, but I also have like a graphic designer. So if there's something specific, I'll kind of just be like, hey, these are the colors I want. This is what I'm looking for. Can you put this here? And also you can throw in whatever you think would look cool. They'll send it to me. I'll look at it. If there's something I don't like or something I want to fix or something like, so it's kind of like me and my gear maker just like coming together to put it, to get it all nice for me.
It really looks really good. And it's so important to have good ring gear and the entrance music can come out. And when you come out, the Lucha Baddie just really pops.
Oh, right, thank you.
And with that, does the mask have any meaning? I know in Lucha, I was reading about masks have meaning, but I don't know if your mask has any meaning to it.
Yeah, so it's kind of one of those things where I was like, I always wanted to do like this really, really cool Lucha character. So I was going to do like a full mask and just wear it to wrestle. And I had a lot of people like telling me like, you shouldn't cover your face. And I was like, okay. I was like, so maybe I can just do it for an entrance. And I was like, you know what? I was like, maybe I can just cover half of. So the way mine's is set up, it covers only half of my face and the other half is open. But I kind of just used it to set myself apart from everybody else. That was like a big thing because like there's like girls with masks, obviously, but they wrestle in the masks. Nobody comes and takes it off. Nobody in wrestling comes and takes off the mask. But the reason that mine's covers only half is because it kind of like represents my in-ring style. Because yeah, I am like the Lucha Baddie and I do Lucha, but that's not all I do. So it's kind of like 50-50 of like 50% of my style will be Lucha and the other 50 will be American. So I'll cover the right side of my face because that's the Mexican side, and then this side is just open. So it's kind of just like that's the reason for only covering one part, and then it's kind of like my style, like that's who I am.
And it does stand out, and it does make you unique to do it that way. And it's just interesting because look at how much thought you put into it. Is that just something that you've learned over the years to put thought into all these elements of a business that you only knew as a fan?
Yeah, I think it's just kind of one of those things like, and it also goes with like finding who you are as a wrestler. It's kind of just like, you're always going to evolve as a character. You're always going to grow. You're always going to try new things. And it's just kind of like putting everything together, figuring out what you want, going and trying it and seeing if it works or not. And it all worked for me. Like whenever I went into the joggers and the Jordans, like it was an idea that I wanted to do for a long time. I just wasn't sure about it. And then I just did it. And then everybody's like, oh my God, that is perfect gear for you. And I was like, I know, like, it just looks like my normal clothes.
And hey, did you have any favorite masked wrestlers?
Yeah, Rey Mysterio is one of my favorite. And then Santos Escobar is one of my favorite. He currently is not in a mask anymore, but he was in one whenever he was in AAA.
Did you ever think of trying MMA?
So I did jiu-jitsu for like a while. I mainly did it because I was like not working at the time and I was just like really, really bored. And I was like, well, let me just try this and see, like maybe I can use some of that stuff in wrestling. And I liked it. It's just a very, very different style of wrestling. It's like amateur wrestling opposed to like WWE style wrestling. And I did it for like maybe 2 months, but after 2 months, it just wasn't my thing. Like it was cool, like to learn the stuff and like it was good cardio, but it wasn't something that I was like enjoying on a different level. So I kind of just, yeah, but MMA is probably a no for me. I like my face. So yeah.
Hey,
and
Miranda,
I don't like being hurt.
You don't like being hurt. No one really does. Although I don't know, some of the MMA fighters, I think some of them may like being hurt and they just like dishing out and taking it.
And I don't like also having to like I don't know if this is a thing in MMA, but I know it's for sure like a thing in UFC, like having to cut like crazy weight before a fight. No.
That is the worst. MMA, amateur wrestling, cutting weight, that's always such a, and when you have to do all these interviews for a big show that you're competing in and have to cut all this weight, it just makes you an angry, just not a happy person.
And having to perform like that alone is like, ugh.
It's hard. Like,
maybe
give them a lot of credit.
Maybe later, but no. I'm good.
Well, yeah, because Sexy Star, Dulce Garcia, tried MMA. She's been in MMA. She was successful in Lucha and pro wrestling and now tried MMA and all. Even Thunder Rosa had an MMA bout. And both were very tough. They both gave it their all in the MMA. But pro wrestling, obviously, has been their thing. A couple more questions to let you go. This Ring of Honor Women's World Title Tournament is such a big deal that'll be coming up. And the finals will be in Lakeland, Florida at the RP Funding Center. Death Before Dishonor pay-per-view. So how cool would it be for you, obviously, that's a goal, to be in the finals. But then also, Miranda, have you wrestled in Florida before? I don't even know if you've been to Florida as far as wrestling-wise.
I wrestled in Florida. It's not something that I go, like, Florida doesn't have a lot of wrestling, to be honest. I think everybody moves there to do like NXT stuff. So the times that I've wrestled in Florida has been for WWE and for AEW. Outside of that, I have not done any independent show or anything like that down there. I've only been down there for wrestling twice, which was like AEW and then WWE. And then other than that, I haven't done any wrestling down there. But yeah, it'd be super cool to be at the finals on the pay-per-view. I'd love to do the Ring of Honor pay-per-view. And I think I can get there. I'm pretty confident I can get there. So just keep watching.
Well, I'll have to keep watching, and that's going to be in September. But actually, the tournament is going to be starting the weekend of July 31st on Ring of Honor TV. A lot of great action. Couple more questions right here.
I'm a coffee drinker, but the only coffee that I drink, and I've drank coffee for years, it's like it doesn't do anything to me. It just keeps me normal at this point. But like it's the first thing I do when I wake up is like black coffee water, but I don't put anything in my coffee. My coffee is strictly black coffee with ice, and that's it.
The black coffee. So are you a Dunkin' Donuts coffee drinker?
No, I am a Starbucks person. Yeah. And I only drink coffee before food. Like once I have, because I'm not a breakfast person either. I do intermittent fasting. I've done intermittent fasting for years now. So when I wake up, it's just water and black coffee till about 12, 1 or 2 o'clock. I get it from Starbucks or I make it at home. But when I make it at home, it doesn't taste like Starbucks. But I'm a Starbucks person. Yeah, just black coffee. And then once I eat breakfast or once I eat my first meal, like no more coffee. I don't like coffee after food. I only like it in the morning when I wake up on empty stomach.
Houston Rockets, Houston Texans, Houston Astros. Are you a Houston sports fan?
Yes, of everything except for the Texans, man. I don't know what's been going on or happening. Like, they just need to get it together. But yeah, I'm a Rockets fan. I'm an Astros fan. The Texans, y'all need some work, man. I don't know. But go Houston.
Yes, that's awesome. Well, Miranda, thank you so much. Taking
Thank
the
you.
time. We're all going to be watching. Hey, give us your social media and we'll wrap it up with that.
Okay, so you can follow me on Instagram. It is Miranda Alize, MIRANDA ALIZE. And my Twitter handle is the exact same. There's just an underscore at the bottom. And then that's it. No Facebook, no nothing else, no nothing. Just Instagram and Twitter, and that's it. That's all I need. Yes, Miranda Alize on Instagram, Miranda Alize _ on Twitter.